This is Chris Hansen.
Chad doing Rip City Radio here.
It's your favorite basketball player, Tyler Hansbrough.
This is Jamie Hudson.
This is TJ Houshmandzadeh.
And I'm going to let y'all know something.
Duke sucks and Duke will always suck.
You're listening to
It Just Makes Sense.
It Just Makes Sense.
Listen, this podcast is not about being right. It's about being entertaining and sometimes right. I don't know. It seemed like...
So you still hate
So I still
Deion
hate-
Sanders? Nothing's changed?
Looking for ways to criticize him.
React to me.
I think you can say that the team choked. The thing that sucks the most, this team will never get a shot at. They had the best chance. They were favorite.
There's a teeny part of me that's like, damn, but it always is nice to see Duke fall. We're back. Clear eyes.
Full heart!
Can't lose.
Play like a champion!
Clear eyes.
See you guys.
Oh, my gosh.
So you're not going to include any of this, right?
No. We weren't even talking.
No. Include it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. It's a podcast I'm not sure was going to happen in person this week. I'll tell you that much. After this past weekend's doom loop of who was on first between myself and Braxton. But I'm happy that you're very...
I thought you were talking about the Duke game. I
No,
had
well, there was
completely
that,
forgotten
too.
about this.
No, yeah.
And I'll be the first to admit, I have no idea what happened.
Shocker.
And
But you just knew that you, like, ended up in bed without saying goodbye to us. You're like, something probably went down. Or did someone reach out to you?
No.
Did your neighbor say I heard yelling?
No. I wish we could have talked to this before we started recording, but
We don't have to include any of this.
I thought you guys talked about this before I got here. You just swept it under the rug.
I thought we did too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I thought everything's fair game on the podcast. We don't need to delve into
fair
it.
enough. I am very embarrassed, to say the least, because I don't really remember anything. And I hate the fact that I woke up the next day with deep feelings of regret and shame. Because all I remember is that I was yelling at Peter, and I remember being like very sloppy and like stumbling over my words, which I fucking hate.
Yeah.
So, yes, I was very ashamed. I don't really know what happened. So,
We'll talk about it after.
Whether you want to tell me that or not,
we don't
it's
need
up
to,
to you.
We don't need to rehash the details of what happened.
We'll talk about
during
it
the
after.
pod.
Yeah.
But like, if you are looking at that outside of being one of you, so if you were me, Caleb, or Jordan, you can see like how annoying it is for Peter to basically talk in circles because you were gone. Like you were in another planet. But I could also see how aggravating it would be from your end, knowing that deep down you're not making sense. But then there's the innocent bystanders are going, you're not making any fucking sense, and laughing. That could be really aggravating, and that's really what drove you to like slam the door and fucking walk out. Because the worst you've ever done is just called an Uber after.
Right, true.
I slammed the door and walked out.
You slammed your garage door. You went through the house, through the garage door, slammed the garage door, slammed the door between the garage and the house, and then went to bed.
True.
And then we're like, should we put the TV inside? Which I hope they did, because Peter and I left before they did.
Yeah, how was your TV?
Was your TV still outside?
Okay, good.
No.
Okay, yeah, so Caleb and Jordan was there. They were there later.
They stayed. Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. Honest, yeah.
It's fine. Peter and I got Burger King on the way.
We did,
It makes me feel like I have a problem.
No, not like. And what was even worse about that was not our conversation. It was when I went to order a milkshake. To get into the crevices of my feelings.
Your shitty ass Burger King down the road.
Well, the McFlurry machine wasn't working.
Yeah, the ice cream machine was off. So Miguel and his drunk ass was just like, we got to stop a second time because I wanted to. We never ended up doing that.
I was pretty drunk, and I was like, Peter, what time does Burger King close? He's like midnight, and it was like 11:33.
11:30.
I was like, we gotta go. I gotta get a zesty sauce and a couple Whoppies and a rodeo burger.
I will say the zesty sauce gives me life, but yeah.
You shouldn't feel bad. And I didn't mean to bring this up to put you on the spot.
You have.
This is pod talk, baby.
And yeah, here's the thing. As people well know, if you've been listening to this podcast for any amount of time, that I love to get wild with the boys.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
It was the first time that we had been down there in a group setting in a long time. And I was a little too excited, and I got too into it. I'm not trying to make excuses. But you were at home. I've gotten pretty wasted at my own house. You're not driving. So.
But to get to the point, because literally, I woke up the next day and I was like, wow, the worst feeling is like, I don't know what happened. All I know is I made a fucking fool of myself. I was rude. I probably pissed people off. They probably don't want to be my friends anymore.
Oh,
what the fuck have I done?
It doesn't go that deep.
No, it doesn't. And I know, because I love you guys and I know that you love me. And we've been friends for too long for something like that to make a difference. But it's still like, oh my God, that's never fun. You guys have all felt that.
Yeah, for sure. But don't beat yourself up over it.
And I ran out of my antidepressants.
I've got some for you.
We were just like, dude, this isn't making sense.
I know. And
There was like,
but then you also slam the door.
You also wanted to go out badly.
Yeah, you were like, well, let's go to Magoo's.
I'm like, fuck no. And then you're like, fine. Duke lost. You're soft. You don't want to go to Magoo's.
You did do that, yeah.
And I'm like,
I stand by that.
You were antagonizing him to go. I'm like, that's not how you get him out, by the way.
But also, that didn't even do anything. I mean, I was so broken, like, you couldn't do anymore.
Yeah.
But I was like, you think I'm going to wear this out to a bar in Salem?
He had nothing
I don't
else
have
to
anything
wear.
else.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm ready to fight someone.
You're like, who cares? You want one of my shirts? I'm like, yeah, and look more like a fucking idiot in a tight ass shirt. But also, before that conversation, we had done a round of ribs, and that Duke shooting shirt covered in barbecue sauce.
Oh, really?
Like, completely covered everywhere. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I woke up and I was like, where's all my ribs?
We went for round 2, yeah.
Where the fuck are my ribs,
dude? Did you have any left?
No.
They're just gone.
They're gone.
No way.
I'm pretty sure Jordan and Caleb took them.
They might have taken
them. They took them.
I honestly...
And I saved the thickest.
You did.
Thickest rack.
You were telling me about it.
And you probably know...
It was his birthday.
You probably know this before, like, the night... Before it got later. I had not eaten anything because I ate before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like a bottle of Evan deep before you even ate food.
Like, we ate food 2 hours before we left. And I had a piece of brisket this big, and I had 3...
Dry as hell.
3... No, I got the fattiest one. There was like a fatty chunk that I microwaved, and 3 things of ribs. That's all I had. Just because I wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
So I didn't even try the potatoes. I didn't get to try the salad or the pasta salad or anything else. So the ribs being gone, absolutely not on me, because Jarrah also said we packed some shit to go if you guys want them.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
And I'm pretty sure Jordan's drunk ass, because he was staying at Caleb's, probably ate everything.
All of that.
Well, at the end of the day, I don't feel great about it, and I reached out to Peter because, and that's the other thing that's like. This is now like the 3rd time I've had to reach out to Peter the next day in the last 6 months and be like, hey, sorry for being a fucking dick. I don't remember what happened. Yeah. All I know is I was an asshole and you don't deserve that. And when it happens the 3rd time, you start looking inward.
You called him on Sunday?
I texted him.
He texted me
yesterday.
That's not good enough. You fax them, and then you call after.
Right.
Yeah.
Courier pigeon.
But then... So and especially because like I was looking forward to that day so much.
It was a fun day. That didn't
ruin
it.
But that's the thing. In my mind, when I wake up the next day, it's like horror and regret instead of like, oh, that was so fucking nice.
Yeah.
to have my friends over, and that really bothers me.
Yeah, that's not gonna deter people from coming back over. Now, if you had done that like fucking midday when everyone was still there, then
Yeah,
I would've
I'm
been
just
like,
glad
oh,
most of the
shit.
women were gone.
That was just like me, him, Caleb, and Jordan. And at that point, we were all fucking drunk to the point where I think the bottle of Evan had like 2 shots left.
Yeah.
And I was the only one drinking that. And
Yeah.
then we were taking shots outside of it. I didn't have that much food. But I even got to the point where I looked at Jordan and I'm like, you are not driving to Vancouver, dude. Because I had no idea what the plans were.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. If I'm at this point, I know where you are and you're not driving to Vancouver. He goes, fuck no, I'm staying at Caleb's tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're playing golf.
Yeah, I didn't realize that till halfway through.
Did he actually play 2 rounds of golf the next
He played
day?
1.
I
only
don't
got
know.
one in?
I don't know.
Well,
No, he's
Jordan
thinking about
Jordan
it, too.
got 1, but Caleb said that he's only playing another 18 if it wasn't raining, and it was pouring at that point.
Yeah, sure. We will talk about the
to
Masters.
put a bow on this. I sincerely loved and appreciated that you guys were there. Obviously, moving away, we don't get to see each other much. Having the baby, don't get to see each other much. I really, really loved and appreciated that, and I'm very
it was fun.
apologetic about not being able to
I will toast you. I will cheers.
handle that.
Yeah, why don't you guys kiss, pussies?
And
Yes.
I
We'll talk about it after.
I sincerely hope that next time that does not happen.
I am curious if afterwards, if you want to guess how.
If you just drink White Claws, you won't get to that point.
Yeah.
Well,
So
if I just drink beer.
maybe.
Yeah, don't
I
be
know
shocked.
that was my fault for
And also, don't
opening up the horny
get your own
nose
brisket
and-
next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't rely on other people's brisket.
It's a nice sentiment.
That's
but-
why I got 5 racks of ribs.
yeah, the ribs were incredible.
Yeah, the
by
ribs
way.
were good.
So, welcome to it. Just
Anyways,
Makes
cut all that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just was temperature
That's
checking.
okay. I deserve it.
No. It was equally an interesting night because I wasn't sure how things were going to go post Duke loss. Duke.
And you handled it well. From what I remember, you handled it well.
I keep it all inside nowadays.
Yeah. Well.
All this- I don't have the energy for screaming and yelling anymore. I just stay broken inside for a couple days and then watch the redemption of Florida doing the same thing to them.
That's
And I feel a
true.
little bit better.
Yeah.
Win a couple pools. I feel that much better.
Yeah. Winning money helps.
Yeah.
Makes up for it.
Yeah, definitely the shoe was on the other foot there with Houston against Florida. But Duke, leading by 14, ends up losing that game. The biggest comeback in Final Four history was Houston. And what it looked like in that, which when all was said and done, is that, Duke got complacent and they looked kind of like they were freshmen because they were. Up against like a Houston team that locked in. Credit to them for actually mounting that comeback, for being able to be grounded enough to do that. And then towards the end of the game, making it incredible for them to even get an inbound in. So
I'm not.
It was very like men versus boys. In
I'm
the
not
Houston
one of
Duke
those-
game.
towards the end.
I'm
yeah.
not
Yeah.
one of those fans, specifically a Duke fan, that would blame age on this.
Yeah,
It-
what would you blame it on?
You can't. First of all, you can't go through a 4-loss season the whole time saying these freshmen are not scared of the big lights, and then use that as a fucking excuse to justify why they lost to Houston. They didn't lose to Houston because it was men amongst boys. They lost to Houston because they were fucking gassed. And I don't want to say this like I would not trade John Shire for any coach in the fucking country. No one. I think he's the best coach in the fucking country. But how many times throughout that game did I say, as somebody who follows this team religiously, why are you only going 7 deep?
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I fucking said that.
you did. That
You-
was your main.
I was like,
one of your main
you are not
critiques.
dipping into the bench. Our biggest 7-footer has no rebounds. He's getting absolutely bullied inside. Our best point guard is missing everything. It's shown that when you put the other 2 guys, they were ready. They were playing well, and they were making shots. But what happened was he played the starting 5 38 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
They were so gassed at the end of it. They couldn't hustle. They didn't have legs. Nothing. Cooper Flagg played incredible.
Yeah, I mean he had.
So you can't use that. He's fucking 18 and he did it.
He was everywhere. He did everything.
But Shire said, "Here's the ball. You figure it out. It's gonna be on. You got us here, and it's on you. If you miss it, we'll live with it." That's what it is. I think you can put it more on coaching towards the end, the inbounds play
and strategy.
Yeah,
it just overall, like if you go 8 or 9, or even get 5 minutes from your 8th guy or something.
Yeah, but
like
I think you have to call a spade a spade. I think you can say that the team choked.
Yeah,
you did it. You scored 1 field goal in the last 10 minutes. You're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. Had Proctor made those 2 foul shots, they would have been up by 3 with 19 seconds. Houston misses a shot, it's over. If they make it, it's a tie, and Duke gets the last possession. Inbounds play made a difference. Missed free throws made a difference. Gassed, tired fucking legs made a difference. But with all that being said, I wouldn't trade fucking Shire for anything.
Yeah.
The team gave you an incredible season. At the end of the day, only one team fucking wins it. And it sucks that the thing that sucks the most in the NBA or in professional sports, when they lose, you can say that you get another crack at it. Because you'll have essentially the same core, right?
Yeah.
I'll get another chance.
You'll pay the main guys.
Yeah. This team will never get a shot at it. They had the best chance. They were favorites. But as a group, this whole roster will not get a shot at it. A few players might, but that's the thing that hurts the most, is they will not get another shot at it as a group.
I was listening to an interview with Dan Hurley, UConn. That's right, Hurley, right?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
And he made a good point of kind of what you're saying, Miguel, because UConn and Duke were kind of the final 2 schools that had a chance at Cooper Flagg. And as much to his chagrin, he kind of went to lengths to mention that this Duke team, and for Shire to put them all together at once with this amount of talent, like, you have to give credit. Like, it's hard in this day and age with recruiting, transfer portal, the NIL, whatever. It's hard to put that level of a talented team together, especially when you only have 1 year. So, and I agree. I give all credit to John Shire for making that happen. And I don't necessarily love Duke. I think that's probably obvious over the years that we've done this podcast. But this was a team that was fun to watch, especially with Flagg, especially with Nipple. They played good basketball. So there's a teeny part of me that's like, damn. But it always is nice to see Duke fall.
Especially when...
Who knows if it's going to be as close, or they'll be back.
Of course they will.
It's just like they're always going to be favorites. That's part of the Duke program. They're always going to be favorites. It's going to be in a tournament, whether they make it to the Final Four, win a natty in the next 3 years, whatever. But I have mixed feelings about certain people who follow them, and it was like calling for Shire's head after a season, after losing. It's like,
no, that's silly.
Dude, his first of all, filling Coach K's shoes is probably the toughest thing in college basketball outside of fucking Wooden and Dean Smith and nobody else. To be able to be for your first 3 years as a head coach of the Duke basketball program, to go Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four is fucking insane. With the transfer portal in your way, but you've turned that into an advantage.
Are we 3 years into this?
Yeah, he's been the head coach for
way.
3 years.
Yeah, and it's almost exactly aligned with the introduction of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And like having that being a heavy part of college basketball.
Yeah.
It's like you don't make a decision, or you don't call for somebody's head because of one play. I am not one of those people. Shire could have made some better decisions coaching-wise at the end of the Houston game. doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to be the coach or he's not one of the best coaches in the country.
Right. Which again, we're going to talk here towards the end of the episode about Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets getting his ass handed to him and fired 2 years after winning a championship in Denver. But again, grass is greener here. Like, who do you?
It just shows you how much of a business that even in college coaching is. But like, you don't say that Cooper Flagg, because he missed that shot, that he's the one who fucking got you there.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just, like, trash people because it didn't work out. Like, yeah, fucking heartbreaking. Absolutely. But so what? Without these people that you are now calling for their heads, you wouldn't have gotten to this point. This team lost 4 fucking games, dude.
That's true. I will say, and I am not trying to place blame on any of this. However, there were a couple of times that Miguel had brought up the fact that there were some jinxes that were happening within the group, saying things or indicating.
That's just my superstition.
Right, but which is fine and everything, but the one jinx that he did not acknowledge that night was one of his own. The 65 points are over. Jinx, where you said, when they score 65 points or more, they win. You said that with about 2 or 3 minutes to go, 64 to 57 or something.
That
like
also
that.
meant that Houston had to be under 65.
Yeah,
and they got to 70.
So
There were like, even Caleb was like, "Congrats, man." And I'm like, because they were up 14 with like 2 minutes and 19 seconds left, and I'm like,
I was trying to throw that at you.
I'm like, don't say that, because I've seen crazier things happen in college basketball. It's like the A&M with Alex Caruso down by 12 with a minute left.
Sure.
It's like, I've seen crazy things. So don't say that they've won and then all of that shit happened. And it's like, I have all these superstitions, and I have these things where like you just hold your breath. You're never happy. And it just ends up being so fucking heartbreaking. It's like, this team could have fucking won. And that's what I was telling Braxton earlier. Houston was the toughest test. I don't think Duke would have had a problem with Florida.
Yeah.
I think they would have ran Florida out of the fucking court like 20.
Well, and then in the championship game, you have the lowest scoring championship game in over a decade. It
was like what, 33 to 30 at halftime.
It was a slog of a game.
It was like 128 total on a 140 over under 141 or something like that.
Yeah. So you end up at the final score 65-63.
Yeah.
Then you had Houston a chance to, they were up 12. Is that what they were up?
Yeah.
12.
Double digits. Florida makes their way back. Obviously, Walter Clayton has made himself a lot of money in this March Madness. And so then in the final play, you don't even get a shot off, which, credit to Florida for being able to scout that. Kelvin Sampson was quite upset about that.
They lost the same way that they beat Duke. It was somewhat of a redemption. They choked at the end the same way that Duke did.
Yeah, to not even get a shot off is pretty wild.
And I was telling them this earlier, after Houston beat Duke, you were seeing all these videos of Houston practices and how intense it is, how they have this drill where they have 3 guys diving for the loose ball, and they lost on a loose ball dive to end the fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, like, they kind of lost because they couldn't get the pump fake, and then, I forget who had the ball at that point. Was it Cryer?
Uzan. Cryer had to give it up. It's number 7. Right. Yeah. You see what happened with... So the guy who attempted the shot and had to dribble the ball that couldn't touch it, he was walking to the locker room with his head in... like his jersey over his fucking head. Did you see that media girl? This is why I hate the fucking media.
Oh, was she trying to get him?
So he was walking to the locker room completely fucking destroyed, jersey over his head. The media girl chases him down and grabs his jersey and starts pulling him for an interview.
Wow.
And one of the Houston staff was like, leave him be. Just let him go.
Like, what do you think you're going to get out of this?
And then she walked away. I was like, dude, I would have fucking... I wouldn't have even looked if that was a man or a woman. I would have just like not the
Yeah.
fucking time, dude.
It's a bad time, Bob.
Yeah, it's fucked.
So Mattress Mac, he had $1 million to win 7.5. So
He just keeps losing.
Yeah, he hasn't. Ever since the Rangers, I think he has not.
He just keeps losing.
He has not been up.
That's because Kelvin Sampson's a piece of shit, so that's karma.
Miguel, to your point, the ratings came out from the Final Four. The Final Four was the highest viewed Final Four.
Look at the two
in the
fucking
last
games.
10 years.
Look at the 2 games.
So to your point, and I think that like overall our argument has kind of whittled itself down to, yes, we like all the ones playing each other, but the parity in the first couple of rounds could have been a little bit better. Although, like, the highest rating.
Those last 3 games though were electric.
Yeah, it was great.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, it was the payoff that you were hoping for.
And if you don't have a dog in the fight and you're focused on brackets, especially if your team is out, the best thing about the last 2 pools that I had a chance in winning, there was no tiebreaker. It was like Houston wins, 0. Florida wins, I get over $300. And I'm looking at it like, but at any, like, there was not one point where I was like, it's over, just because how Florida has played. And at not one point did Walter Clayton look nervous.
No.
It's 0 in the first half, but he was just so even keel, and he's like, it was almost like it's gonna happen at some point. This guy is not phased by his bad game
mini
at all.
Steph Curry. I mean, that's kind of what he has kind of labeled himself to be. And there's a couple of things. So a couple of like stats and facts here. This is the first time since 1997 that the champion of the tournament beat the defending champion in the bracket, or in facing them in the tournament. So the first time in almost, what is that, 27 years?
28
years.
So Arizona won in 97.
Yeah. So that was the last time that the champion of that year had beat the defending champion.
Who was the defending champion? Kentucky?
I don't remember.
So Arizona beat Kentucky in 97.
So it had to have been Kentucky.
And that Arizona team had Mike Bibby and Miles Simon.
Sure. I knew that.
Me too.
Let's see. Well, what are some other facts? So you had the youngest coach to win a championship.
Yeah, is he younger than you guys, right?
I think he's 38, 39. So he's probably the same age.
Shire's younger than me. Shire's 37.
Yeah.
Todd Golden, I don't know how old he is, but Shire's
I mean, he looks like
37.
he's 12.
Let me look it up.
I was more surprised that, but I guess I knew it. Like, Shire's 37. Like, he was in college after me.
Could you guys imagine at your age having the type of pressure? Like,
Being a blue blood
39. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
It's big pressure. Isn't it the Jacksonville Jaguars GM like?
Yeah, he's super young.
Yeah,
He's
I think
19.
he looks 19. He's
17, actually.
He's definitely in his early 30s. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Can't
of
even
that,
drink.
So, well, congratulations. And also a final thing. I remember sitting on this couch at, I think it was the beginning of March or maybe even late February, where I go, is Florida good? Like, they seem good. But, like, I kind of get confused by, like, their roster and, like, this Walter Clayton kid. He seems pretty good, but, like, sometimes he doesn't score at all.
Or are they lucky?
I don't know. Are they good or are they lucky, Juan?
Why don't you go back to that episode and play back what I said?
You said they were good.
I said it's the best backcourt in the fucking country.
Yeah.
No one's stopping this 3-headed guard fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't have beat Duke.
I think I kind of tend to agree because, like, up until the 6-minute mark of that Duke Houston game, it kind of played
Nobody
out.
could beat Duke.
It kind of played out the way that I was envisioning. I was like, this is saying, 4.5 and whatever. Oh, by the way, congratulations on owing me no money. But yeah, it was playing out exactly the way I envisioned it. I would have loved for that final 6 minutes not to have happened, but such as
I
life.
think, like, I don't want to take away from the Florida-Houston final because that was a great fucking final.
It was a great game.
But if you go roster and, like, player versus player, the Duke Florida matchup would have been fucking cake.
If you're trying to do roster match, this Duke team could be 20 years worth.
Oh
of
no, I'm not
rosters.
even saying. So yeah, I like I was saying that Duke would have killed them, but like the matchups would have been something to watch. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
Because you had the 3 guards from Florida that would have matched up with Proctor, James, and Nipple. And then Florida has these 7-footers that would have matched up with Flagg, Malowach, and like it would have been the perfect matchup.
Yeah.
And it might have been closer than I think, but I just thought matchup wise it would have been fucking great.
How tall is Flagg?
6'9".
Seems big.
So he plays big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plays even bigger.
Yeah, it's going to be an adjustment in the NBA because he's going to be like a
He's
like
gonna
a small
be-
forward.
Yeah.
Like he was playing in the post a lot, but he's a small forward, but he can shoot. So
Yeah.
he's fine.
Like he's got.
And I don't know why they had him bringing the ball down so much.
Yeah, that's the one thing that there's 3 things I wish I could have talked to Mr. John Shire about. Number 1, why did we put so much on Cooper Flagg? And yeah, he had 27, 7 and 4, whatever. But like you could have had a point guard, probably Caleb Foster, just do everything and have Flagg just like get open.
Well, and that's kind of the Duke playbook, I feel like, is like you have a assigned point guard that you trust, that usually is a third, fourth year guy who manages your team and is a second coach on the floor. So that seemed kind of odd.
That's the thing that was worrisome as soon as that game started, is it felt like you are changing what got you here. And I was immediately concerned.
I mean, like Duke couldn't get a rebound to save their freaking life to start
No,
that game.
Juwan Johnson, that fucking 6'9" dude, had 12 rebounds and Malowach had 0 boards as a 7'2" guy. But then they put Gungba in and Foster. Foster made a layup and Gungba was like battling physically. I'm like, leave him in because they're going to have a better game. Yeah. But he just put a lot on Flagg, and you can tell he was gassed because that last shot, that was not a bad release. That was a gassed fucking shot.
Yeah.
Like, tip of the fucking rim, you're out.
Yeah, you don't got enough to get it over.
Yeah, I was curious your thoughts on that like final shot because like he got a shot, he got his shot, and then
I think Shire could have drawn up a better inbounds play because that's one of the ones that killed him.
I mean, they were already kind of reeling from not being able to inbound the ball.
That's twice
at all.
The missed foul shots from Proctor also killed big time because that could have made a difference. But he could have called more plays for Nipple. He put everything on Flagg, but Con Knipple could create his own shot, and he didn't do enough for him. He put all of it on Flagg, and all the attention was on him. And yeah, he made some stuff happen, but at the end, he had nothing left.
Yeah,
I mean, he was out of juice.
It was interesting to see kind of that like win probability at a certain time of a game, and it was just like Duke 91-84, and then all of a sudden it just flipped on its head right away. So.
Okay. We'll just forget about it.
But congratulations.
High-scoring game, though.
To the Florida Gators. So
for 3 guys from the West Coast, couldn't care less.
I've been in as far as March Madness brackets, whether finishing first, second, or third, or just getting money. I've been in because I do a lot of brackets. I usually have like a couple $100 in every
Yeah,
March.
you did 11, 12 this year?
I did 11 brackets and 5 pools with like $255 buy-in, and I was $75 in the green because I won like $330. But I've been in the green for March Madness for 4 years.
Nice.
And on ESPN, one of the bigger pools, I have a 98%. I'm in a 98th percentile in guesses.
Huh.
So if
There
you
you
ever
go.
question my knowledge of college basketball, it's there. I don't know which round, but it's there.
What teams did you draw in the Jimmy's League?
So Jara actually took second. She had Houston,
Nice.
which was a -1.5 point spread.
The
Oh,
second
no.
win money
And they lost by 2.
I thought it was 2.5. Did
No.
it changed? Bummer.
is it winner take all?
No, she won $80.
Nice.
But yeah, I didn't do too great.
Not so great.
I lost all 4 of my teams by the Sweet 16.
Love that. But it's not up to you, right?
No, you just get whatever team you're assigned and you play against the spread, which I kind of like.
It's fun.
You know, that
Yeah.
you feel a little bit more responsibility when you lose a bracket that you filled out. When somebody tells you these are your 4 teams.
Yeah, and everyone has
Yeah.
equal random chance. But well, congratulations to Jer. Jer, a very honest woman, by the way. She thought I had 2 brackets. I just thought that it was a $20 buy-in, but it was, for our friend group, it was $10. She sent me the $10 back. She was like, "Oh, I overcharged you." So,
Wow. I told her to keep it, but
What a dummy.
yeah. Okay, so it is a tradition unlike any other, the Masters 2025, and we will get into the odds of the players first. However, Juan Magoo
You can
has
just swipe. You'll see it.
the best Masters Champions dinner menu with how many previous winners? We've got Matsuyama, Scheffler, Woods, Spieth, Rahm, Patrick Reed, and Bubba Watson at plus $1 billion, it looks like.
Bubba Watson's is
This way,
so shitty. That's what's his odds?
It is plus 1 million.
And then what was the favorite?
Hideki Matsuyama,
No, the number, the odds.
a plus 225.
So we went from plus 225 to plus $1 million. That's how bad Bubba Watson's menu is.
I
Start with
thought
that
Jordan Spieth was good too, but go ahead.
Bubba Watson's a shit.
So previous winners, Matsuyama's in 2022 had sushi with sashimi, nigiri, chicken skewers. Then there was miso glazed black cod, which is having a moment these days, it seems like. Then there was the Mitsuyaki Wagyu, which is A5 Wagyu mixed with mushrooms, vegetables.
Fuck yeah.
And then for dessert, you have Japanese strawberry shortcake. Then you have Scottie Scheffler's, which is going to be this year. This year, they are serving cheeseburger sliders and firecracker shrimp. A very good start. Although I don't understand what served Scottie style means. I suppose we'll have to look that up.
So he's just doing the Cheesecake Factory menu.
It looks like it because then there's also meatballs and ravioli bites.
Yep.
He's a child. Then there's Texas-style chili with corn chips, which the Frito-Lays in your...
Again, we're just doing the Cheesecake Factory children's menu.
Then for main course, you have a wood fire cowboy ribeye or blackened redfish with family-style mac and cheese, jalapeno cream corn, soy glazed Brussels sprouts, and chipotle lime roasted sweet potatoes. And for dessert, a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie.
Vanilla ice cream on there?
Vanilla bean ice cream.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is between
Zhuzhed it up.
this
Yeah.
is between Hideki and Spieth, because Spieth is barbecue.
Yeah.
So then let me go to Mr. Bubba Watson. He
This is
had,
shit.
in 2013, a traditional Caesar salad, grilled chicken breast with green beans, mashed potatoes, corn, mac and cheese served with cornbread, and confetti cake.
That's it. The fucking Masters dinner is that. Grilled chicken breast.
Yeah. Patrick Reed's had salad, cowboy ribeye, mac and cheese, kind of, your standard, like, Father's Day food.
Yeah.
That fare. John Rahm, tapas. Tapas wasn't a bad
The
move.
tapas was
yeah,
good.
so none of
The
that.
options weren't that great.
Right. And then people love this warm chocolate chip cookie skillet because Jordan Spieth, it wasn't a skillet, it's just the cookie itself.
I mean, it's a great dessert. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So if you guys were doing a Masters dinner, choose one appetizer, one entree with side,
What a fat pod.
and a dessert.
Oh my gosh. Appetizer. Poke nachos for an appetizer.
Okay.
Yeah. Love me some poke nachos as an app. Or an onion ring tower.
Yeah, okay. Bloomin'.
Yeah, bloomins are great. Yeah, I love me some bloomins.
I think I would do fried calamari with a nice like sauce to go with it.
I think I'd go shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, you are a big
Shrimp
guy.
cocktail.
Well, you're
Loves
not
a shrimp
limited
cocktail.
to one, right? So I
No,
would do
not
fried
necessarily.
calamari and jalapeno poppers.
Fried or wrapped?
Not fried, smoked. The way that you do it.
I would
Yeah,
let
yeah.
you. Yeah,
The way that you do it. And I would have to go the same as a lot of them, like have 2 options for the protein and have seafood, probably have fish. I'll probably do a whole fish.
He would do a whole
A
fish.
bronzino?
Sure.
Okay.
And then
A grouper.
A red snap?
I would go red
Snapper.
I would go
Yeah,
red
he would go
snapper.
red snapper.
And then for steak I would change it up and I would do a 16-ounce picanha.
Oh.
Like just so you get a whole picanha. And then dessert, fucking Rocky Road ice cream
Yeah, you do love good Rocky Road ice cream.
with vanilla ice cream on top. Yeah, fatted me up, baby.
That's good. That's
Ice
a
cream
good
on
one.
top of ice
That's a
cream.
good one.
That's
Yeah.
power move. So
Yeah, I think I'm going. I would also do jalapeno poppers with the shrimp cocktail.
you'd have a wedgie as well, probably. Right?
If we can choose a salad, throw a wedge in there. And then I would definitely. I think I would do a 2-inch thick boneless ribeye,
Okay.
and maybe with bone marrow on the side if
sure.
you're feeling frisky. And then I'm not much of a fish guy, but you can throw fish in there. Maybe a shrimp scampi. But I did the shrimp
Double
cocktail.
shrimp. Yeah, you're.
Do
So
crab.
that's- Oh,
Dungeness
yes.
crab.
You could do some.
Yes.
Some king crab legs. or
Yes,
whatnot. Yeah,
absolutely.
sure.
Dungeness crab because Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And then I think I might fall into the skillet cookie
the
with
the Pizookie.
The Pizookie from fucking what's it called? The what's that restaurant that has those BJ's?
Yeah.
Chili's,
Yeah.
Applebee's.
Yeah,
So-
all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, I would love like a nice salmon in addition to a ribeye.
Just to promote the Northwest.
Yeah, essentially.
Cedar Point salmon.
As far as a salad goes, I have this Mediterranean salad that I make, which is very good.
Yeah, but you're not Mediterranean.
No, but it's very good. It's with like a tahini soy dressing. It's very good. For dinar, maybe just go. Oh, I would probably go with
Cheese rice?
Tonight dough. I would probably go with Ben and Jerry's Tonight dough, or like a really warm brownie, something like that.
Okay.
So-
And what steak did you say?
they'll just go like ribeye.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything crazy, but yeah.
God, I'm hungry.
What happens when the winner of the Masters is vegan?
Oh God.
And it's a
that
full-on
won't
vegan
happen.
menu.
That won't happen.
Yeah, cancel it. Cancel the Masters. We're done. We're done.
You could cut this because this probably isn't as funny if you don't see the video. But the video I sent earlier to our Instagram group of someone in the Philippines with a really thick accent interviewing his grandpa. Did you see that
I
one?
did not. I did not.
And he goes, "What do you call in his Filipino accent? What do you call somebody who doesn't eat meat?" And the guy goes, "Valedictorian." You should play it. It's fucking great. No hesitation.
Let me see if I can find it.
It's on the Boner Dogs Instagram. Just no hesitation.
Which Peter claims he does not watch, even though he will like videos in it.
I'll
So
watch it on occasion.
so confident with his
Don't
answer.
lie.
No pause. He just knew that was the right answer.
All right, let me pull it up. Here we go.
A person who does not eat meat. Valedictorian. Do you call
No shit, dude.
Yeah, he's a valedictorian.
So Lindsay doesn't eat meat?
Apparently not. So we've got ourselves the Masters coming up this week. They had to cancel the practice round, or at least they didn't cancel the practice round, but the Patreons could. The Patreons.
The Patreon.
The Patreons.
Patriots?
The patrons couldn't go back into the practice round yesterday. However, it looks like weather is shaping up to be pretty amazing this weekend, unless
Nino.
things have changed. There might be like some small rain, chance of rain Friday morning, but into the weekend we're looking pretty
Is
good.
Charlie Woods in it?
No. No,
Not
he
yet,
is
brother.
not. Obviously, Tiger not in it for the Achilles injury.
Didn't he
again,
say he was going to try to make it happen?
Was April Fool's, sir.
Oh, you got bro.
You got.
You got.
Gotcha, P.
Yeah.
That was a double gotcha.
Yeah. So we have the favorites there in Scottie Scheffler at plus 400, Rory at plus 650, John Rahm, who is your highest-ranked live golf member, at plus 1,300, Colin Morikawa at plus 1,700, Xander Schauffele at plus 1,800. Then you have Bryson DeChambeau at plus 1,900. Ludwig Aberg, who is at plus 2,000. I'm only going to go up to plus 3,000. So then you have Justin Thomas at plus 2,500, Brooks Koepka at plus 3,000, and Hideki Matsuyama at plus 3,000.
You know what I learned? It's
Tell me.
Oberg.
It's not Aberg?
No.
All right. Well,
That's
fuck
what
me.
the little circle over the A is.
Huh.
It's Oberg.
Can I? This won't take long. Can I read the bets? So Kevin, our P1 listener, is huge into golf bets. So he doesn't bet in Washington unless he goes to A. So he's giving me some tips on what to bet on DraftKings.
Uh-huh.
So he has two parlays. I'm not going to read one because the other one's long, but he has a make the cut parlay at plus 1,081 with 8 guys.
Sure.
I'm not going to read all those names. But the other one is a 3-leg parlay that I think is like plus 400 or something like that. So top South American, Joaquin Neiman.
Yep. Love Joaquin Neiman.
Top
Very sad that he's in the
Top
Live Tour.
Spanish, John Rahm. Top senior, Phil. How you feel about that?
What's your cutoff here on?
To make the cut.
No.
Is that the bet?
So the other one is make the cut with 8 guys at plus 1,081. This is just top in scores. So yes, they do have to make the cut, but this is top South American, top Spanish, top senior, all parlayed together as a 3-legger.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just giving us fun facts by telling us that.
No,
That's the bet.
that's the bet.
Gotcha.
So he's suggesting this sits at like plus 400 or something like that.
The only one that would concern me is Phil.
Phil?
Plus 10,000 to win the tournament, plus 1,600 to make the top 5, plus 700 to make the top 10 is Mr. Nicholson. I don't know why that just turned into font 80.
But that's the thing with golf. You never fucking know, especially the Masters. Every bet's a good bet. Every bet's a bad bet.
Right, and so, I mean, you have, again, if you're looking at Scheffler, who, won last year, he is at minus 115 to make the top 5 and minus 250 to make the top 10. Now, I know that Rory always comes into the Masters way over.
Touted, yeah.
Yeah, always touted and always just finds a way
And that
to just
that
freaking
mother
face plant.
fucker won't make the cut.
So,
No, he'll make
So,
uh-oh, are you right? Oh, no, you're doing it.
I've been outspoken on this podcast as to how much I do not like Rory McIlroy.
But
Our friend Jordan Ray, friend of the podcast,
Yeah.
guest of the podcast, he is a part of this Masters pool. It's very high money. Not high money to get in, but $10,000+ if you take first. And basically it's like, okay, pick one player from Group A, 2 players from Group B, yada, yada. In Group A, where you choose one player, there's 3 options. Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy, and Scottie Scheffler. And I was looking at these 3 pictures of these gentlemen,
You see Rory as a value bet.
and I saw Rory, and I exactly. It's like, how can you not? And here's the thing. Rory coming into the Masters over the last couple years has not been in the same position that he is now. He's been winning. He's been taking top 10, top 5. So that's how I justified it to myself, and I kind of hate myself for doing it, but I did it.
But it's also probably a great value bet because in that group with 1,100 people in the pool, there's going to be so many Scottie Schefflers.
And that was my thought. most people are going to take Scottie.
That's why I'm going Xander, baby.
Nobody's going to take Xander.
Oh, I'm taking Xander.
Yeah. And that's why it's value.
So when we look at, and I don't know if you want how we want to structure our bets, but I would love if if we were all committed to at least one live player.
So here's what I think we should do.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. My idea was to do kind of a snake draft type style.
Sure.
We can take 3 players or 4 players. So up to you.
Just do what we've done in the past. We've taken 4.
4.
And then a 5th one as a tiebreaker.
So I was thinking that we do that same structure, but one has to be live and one has to be senior.
Oh, I don't know. Who are our senior
Do you want
guys?
to? We can cut senior.
I'm not good on
Unless we know
Okay.
that right away, I wouldn't know.
I don't
Okay.
know who my
So
senior
why don't we
is.
do 4 and 1 for the tiebreaker, and then one of the 4 can't be the tiebreaker. One of the 4 has to be live.
Okay.
Right.
Pete,
Yeah.
you already have your computer up. Can you just put it on like a notepad
That's what I was going to do.
and then
yeah.
screenshot it, and I'll track it on our...
And also let me do a who determine the order thing.
Okay. And then once you send it to me, I'll put it on our ledger. And then how much money are we putting on this? It's winner take all. Mm-hmm. We just do $20 each. Winner takes 60. Or you want more?
Winner, I'm
let's do
good with that.
50.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So 50 each. Winner take 150.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And for my performance this weekend, I'll go last.
Well, he's determining the order.
I'm determining the
Too
order.
cocky. But also, well, I'll have DraftKings up so I know the fucking golfers are. Because giggity, giggity, giggity schlup.
Will it tell me now? How do I make this? Result. Here it has Braxton, Miguel, Peter.
So Peter, Miguel, Braxton.
What do you mean?
I said I'll go last. You don't want to accept that?
Well, if the order has Braxton, Miguel, Peter,
Then you go first.
Okay, sounds good.
And it's Snake.
Okay. Do everybody get their odds up in front of them?
yeah. Oh, and I'm also writing this down.
Yeah. Just keep track of it. Just screenshot it. Send it to me when we're done. And then I'll put it on the ledger. That's how we'll track it. So you don't have to save it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet. All right, Braxton with the first pick.
I think I'm going to stand by my abnormal pick and go with Rory.
All right.
That's going to fuck me in the long
It's going to
run.
fuck you.
It's
That's
not
gonna
going to be great.
fuck me so
yeah.
hard.
I mean, at this
Either
point,
he's going to win or not make the cut.
or he's not going to make the cut.
Or
Yeah,
he's going to barely make the cut and then shit down his leg.
potentially.
or win.
Yeah.
Dude, if he shits down his leg during the Masters and no one placed that
How
prop
about
bet,
this? Hey, guys, if Rory McIlroy literally shits down his leg, I win.
You automatically win.
I automatically win.
Okay. I think that's
Deal?
fair. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll Venmo you $18 if he shits down
Thank
his
you.
leg.
Thank you. Who's next?
Is it me?
Miguel.
If you're leaving him open, I'll take fucking Scottie.
Yeah. That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair for you.
Why don't we take Cooper Flagg if he's available? That seems dumb.
Yeah, even with
How many golfers have won 2 years in a row?
Tiger.
Tiger, Jack, and Sergio.
No. No.
Bubba Watson.
No. He's won twice, but not in a row.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I know that. Okay, so John Rahm has played. He's a Masters champion, but he missed the cut last year. He has finished in the top 10 all year, basically, on Live Golf. But I'm having trouble as it relates to whether or not I should pick my favorite to be a Live golfer. I don't feel like it has
You're going live as your first pick.
No, I'm saying I'm
That's
not.
the question
I'm
he's
saying
asking
that I
himself.
don't feel like I want to do that because of just in terms of the competitive play and the amount of holes that they're playing one less.
Well,
round.
Peter, I don't know if you recall, but you do have the benefit of going twice in a row.
I do. In which case, I will take Schauffele and Morikawa.
Okay. Mr. Lopez.
Xander's my guy. This fucks me all up.
I know. I'm sorry.
Which
I
one of
knew
those
that I
guys
would-
is a live guy? Did you pick a live guy out of those
No,
two?
he didn't.
I did.
Those
not.
are both PGA guys.
Right. John Rahm is a live guy.
Oh.
Okay. Let me narrow this down for you in terms of best to worst, probably.
I mean, don't.
No, you don't need to do that.
We're betting against each other. Don't give in.
Okay.
I'm just gonna ask later when I have to pick a live guy who's a live guy. But for
Gotcha.
my second pick, I'm gonna take Hideki.
Matsuyama.
Yeah,
Not a live guy.
Not a live guy.
Okay.
No. Your primary live guys, obviously Sergio, Bryson,
We'll just address that.
Mickelson,
when I get there.
Neiman, Watson, Cameron Smith,
So,
Dustin Johnson.
I get 2 picks correct.
You do. One moment, he decided to take
Hideki.
Who?
Hideki Matsuyama for the sushi.
Kind of racist.
Samsung,
Little
Hitachi,
racist. We'll accept.
Toshiba, Mitsubishi.
Honda. I will take Mr. Morikawa.
Nope.
He picked him. Peter picked him.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
fuck.
took Schauffele and Morikawa.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I will take Mr. DeChambeau. That'll be my live.
That will be your live. So Bryson won the 2024 U.S. Open, and then he won at Pinehurst this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's had a couple.
Yeah, but
and
Pinehurst is such a shit
Yeah.
course.
and and he was shooting
McGillis.
the ball over his house, and he finally made it. I don't know if
Yes.
you guys were dialed into that.
Dude, I shot
TikTok.
3 over at Pinehurst.
I
Are you
mean-
fucking kidding me?
At the end of the day, Bryson has had one of the biggest public turnarounds as far as being not liked to like.
Because
Yeah.
he started fucking Paige Spearneck. That's the
He
only
started
reason.
her.
He
like, in
started
his starting
fucking her.
five? Oh,
He started fucking
her.
her.
For real?
Yeah,
I
so
didn't know
that's
that.
why it
That-
it boosted his.
And I doubled
image.
down on Bryson DeChambeau.
Can
I
I
picked-
take Bryson twice?
I picked
Yeah,
Bryson
can I
for
take
all
him
5.
twice? Okay, Bryson is my live,
yeah.
and then I'm gonna take Brooksy.
Double live. Wow, the
Double
feud
live.
between
Oh, we're
the
not
two of
limited
those
to
guys.
one live?
You're not,
No.
no.
I'm
You have to
taking-
have at
And
least
you took
one.
2 rivals.
He
And
did
it
take
benefits
2
me because I
rivals.
just took 2 of the best guys from you bastards.
Okay.
I didn't know we're limited. We can do more. I would have picked all live.
Hey, no rules.
No, I wouldn't.
You would not have. I know that for a fact.
Wait, is this the turn where I get to do back to back?
No, you
no.
never get to do back.
Oh, that's bullshit. For $50, I never get to do back.
You never get to do back to back.
Hey, it's not our fault.
Yeah.
Hurry up. Oh, is it me?
It's yeah.
Oh,
it's your
I thought it was
turn.
you.
Yeah, no, he just took 2. He took Brooks and Bryson. Yeah.
Oh, I do my live. I'll go John Rahm.
John Rahm, not a bad one.
I like my lineup.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I have
Wait, no. Nobody had taken John Rahm.
no.
Yeah. You
You
idiots.
dumbass.
I got the best live guy there is.
Yeah. he's-
With Scotty.
I know. I threw a curveball when I was talking about
God
Rahm to
damn it.
start.
So
Yeah.
technically, I know it doesn't.
That's what you were talking so much about.
I was.
Rahm.
and
I know
I
it
never
doesn't
took
mean
him.
anything, but my first 3 guys are all former Masters winners.
All right.
Right?
Well, fuck me. Go
Scheffler,
ahead.
Matsuyama, and Rahm have all won the Masters. Yes.
Oh, what a dinner!
What a dinner.
You combine all 3.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I should do that. I've got the back to back now, right?
No, 3
No.
picks. Well, yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
you
so
do.
I've got my
For
back-to-back.
your-
You guys are
I-
just alternating back to backs, and I don't get one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because you're in the middle.
So I feel like my live guy is going to be Joaquin Neiman. Joaquin Neiman has been in the top 10 all year long in live, and I
I had to scroll twice to find his name on the odds.
He's at plus 4,000. All
Yeah.
right, it's
Okay.
not that crazy
Good
here.
luck.
And then do I go Spieth or do I go Thomas? And I think that's kind of where I find myself. I will go with Justin Thomas.
All right, bad choice. Miguel?
I feel like I have a pretty stacked roster, and this next guy is one of my favorite guys in golf. Doesn't always translate to winning, but I think I can afford to draft him just because I love him. You got to give me Mr. fucking Tony motherfucking Finau.
Oh, he just
damn.
well.
I
gonna
just-
I
snap
think that's
his ankle.
such a terrible pick. I hate Tony Finau.
I love Finau.
Yeah.
The
I
Mormon
love
Megalodon.
Finau.
Yeah,
I
so
just like him.
Tony Finau recently just made the cut last weekend. I think it was last weekend.
That's fine.
Well, hold on. He made it by hitting a hole-in-one on 18, and he won himself a car. So
Yeah, see?
Kind of a bitch move.
yeah.
Is he really hurt?
No.
No, he's not hurt.
He historically
is
he
really bad. at the
broke his
Masters.
ankle the night before the Masters
Yeah.
in the family par 3 tournament.
Yeah, but there's going to be little rain this weekend, so we're going to be just fine.
So he's not going to break his ankle.
No, it's not going to be as slippery.
Fair. Okay. My last one.
Your last one. So you have no two. You just have one.
Victor Hovland.
Mr. Hovland. I love when his cheeks get nice and rosy because
Yeah.
he's,
Yep.
so adorable. I wonder what he's got his he usually announces his whole outfit combo of the week
Yep.
too. I have not seen that yet, but
Is it back to me?
1 second yes it is, but I need to put
So
his.
this is the last one, right? This is my tiebreaker.
This is your tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, my fifth. So you have my 4 in there?
Wait, so yours are Rory, Bryson, Brooks.
So it's.
You took 2. So what?
I thought it was 3 and 1. Is it 4 and 1?
4 and 1.
4 and 1.
Then I need to.
Wait,
pick
so hold on. So he and I both have 4.
We both have. Me and Peter have 4. You only have 3.
Does that make sense? Hold on.
How is that? No, you haven't included Hovland yet. For his, he picked him.
So he would have the turn then.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do have the turn. My bad.
Okay.
I apologize.
So you're a tiebreaker guy.
Your tiebreaker.
Big shit right now. Give me. I don't want that. Give me Cameron Smith, please.
Mr. Smith of Live, you have a lot of Live happening here.
3
My
out of
goodness.
5.
Wow.
You're welcome. Fuck the PGA.
All right, Juan. Your
Are we?
turn.
So we're all picking our 5th, right?
Yeah.
Dead air.
I'm between 2.
Who are
Can I
you
just
two?
bring him up? Because it doesn't. It's our tiebreaker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
go
bring him
ahead.
up.
Just to see what your opinions
Yeah.
are, because I don't know either one of these guys.
Yeah, Pete doesn't want either of them.
Oh, no, he wouldn't want it. He wouldn't want one. So Bhatia.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but that is a coin flip.
I mean, he did well last tournament. No, for my 5th, I don't think anyone's picked him yet. Give me Will Zalatoris.
I love Will Zalatoris.
That's a
Give me
Great
Zalatoris.
choice.
That's my other one.
I would take that over Bhatia every day.
Yeah, give me Zalatoris for my tiebreaker guy.
Um,
Put it in.
Jesus.
That's how you forget. Did you even spell Hovland right?
Zalatoris. And he had gotten hurt last year, and he couldn't play last
When
year.
he played the Thunder. Yeah, he shouldn't have been in that game.
I think I'm going to go with Sergio Garcia.
Oh, that's a senior.
choice.
Isn't that a senior?
That is.
So
Is
no,
he a senior?
No one picked. Oh, so we have to pick a senior.
No.
No.
We
Oh.
nixed that.
So no one
Yeah.
picked Phil.
No.
No one picked Phil.
All right.
I'm going to
Sergio
go
it is.
with
Sergio's
Sergio.
89 years old, dude.
Yeah, but he's been playing well.
Almost 90.
He's still a top 20 player.
Yeah.
So
What
I'm
are my
gonna go with
favorite-
Sergio.
What
Live
about-
guy, isn't he?
He is. I went with 2 libs.
How many lives do I have?
1. You just have
The best live.
3 Masters.
You just got the best lib.
guys. You're gonna get fucked by Tony Finau.
Live
He is
tard.
gonna get yeah.
Okay, then let's do the same thing.
Live tard. Jesus Christ.
Let's do the same thing. If Rory shits down his fucking leg,
Yeah.
he automatically wins.
Yeah.
If Finau places in the top 5,
No.
I
not how that
automatically
works.
If he, how about this?
No,
if he
that's
breaks
not
his
how it
ankle again,
Yeah. He breaks his other ankle.
it has to be the other one.
Yeah. Tony Finau is plus 1,000 to make the top 5.
He's not
Plus
that far down.
400. He is plus 8,000 is Mr. Finau. So
To win?
yeah.
Oh, I'm not counting on him winning.
Okay. Well, he's
I
plus
just
400
make the cut and
to
play
make
well.
the top 10.
Just
So
top 30, I'll be happy.
yeah.
I would. One of my favorite videos was that Jack Nicklaus video where the guy was complaining about not being
putt.
able to make the putt. He goes, "You want me to show you?" And he just fucking hammers it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
uphill.
And he's just
I
like,
did that in fucking Virginia.
you did do that. Yeah.
You made a putt like that?
It
Yes.
was probably even more impressive. Yeah.
It was like from 50 yards away.
Was it the same setting
Yeah,
where someone was
hills.
complaining, or like?
I don't know if
Okay.
anyone was complaining.
No, nobody was complaining, but we were playing a scramble. So my shot was well farther
Yeah.
away than anybody else
You
on
were
my
off
team.
the green, and this was like a gigantic.
It was a double hill, up and down,
all the
right
way in
and
the
left.
back. Yeah.
And I was like, hey, just for fun, I'm going to hit this putt. And I sunk it. I didn't even see it go in.
It was wild. Yeah.
You went jack on everybody?
I did. I
That
jacked
is-
off on everybody.
He jacked off on everybody.
Man, that was.
That's how it goes.
I love that video. I love the confidence and the
It's a
cockiness in
classic.
that video.
It's a classic.
So you want me to show you, and then he hits it with no warm up. It was incredible.
I might be going to Augusta, Georgia here in August. Not obviously for golf, but it would be for some work stuff.
I've heard that Augusta is kind of like a shitty town.
Hi. You can just leave the food right here. Yeah, for Peter. Yeah. You can just leave it right there. No
you're
worries
good.
at all. Thank you for bringing our food.
You too.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
No, don't do that.
Do not do that.
Don't fall in love with the DoorDasher
Would
just
say
because
love
he's got
you.
the food.
Sometimes you got to spread love, dude.
Yeah, Pete. Jeez.
You live tard.
All right.
I am kind of surprised that hasn't taken more of a deal.
Because Rory's not allowed to say it.
I am very excited. You're going to be a single dad this weekend, right? Being able to watch the Masters?
I don't know if those two things coincide,
Right, yeah.
but I will be a single dad and the Masters will be on.
Well, just think about and the reason I bring this up is I saw like a meme or something like that online. It was like getting ready to have like the best nap of the year this upcoming weekend.
How long is she gone for?
Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah, that sounds right. Going to Scottsdale, fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've had some great naps while watching the Masters, but it's a conflicting nap too because you don't want to miss out. Or anything.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if I have many naps, but I'm looking forward to it either way.
Yeah. Let's see. Before we get out of here, a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Number one is about Shaduer Sanders. Shaduer Sanders has himself his pro day where he's, throwing the ball up to some guys on a friendly environment. And where some people would be like, hey, this was impressive. He was able to, hit most of his targets and everything. What ended up coming out of that was two things. Number one, the guy taps the ball every time as his tell before he throws it. And two, the routes that the guys were running, scouts were like, there's no way that guys would ever run these routes in the NFL. So, I don't know. It seemed like...
So you still hate
I still
Deion
hate
Sanders?
Shaduer Sanders and Deion, so...
There's
Nothing's changed.
Looking for ways to criticize him.
react to me. So.
I mean, I heard it went pretty well.
It did go pretty well, but had you guys heard about that tell on the tap of the ball? And is that concerning? Can a guy eliminate like a habit that then was picked up?
You also remember how they said that Joe Burrow's hands was too small.
That's true.
And how Russell Wilson was too short, and Kevin Durant had a bad combine. So I'll leave it at that.
I can't imagine somebody coming up to him being like, "Hey, stop tapping the ball." And then he does it. And then he does it.
Isn't
that crazy?
Guys run routes that they should, and then he throws it to them, and then
NFL wide receivers run the correct routes. Isn't that nuts?
Okay, so not concerned.
No.
Great.
Yeah. I think that the real criticism of Shaduer Sanders will happen when the season starts, and then we see how he plays. Because there's been talks on how, it's probably a lot of people that side with you that, like, how come he's not getting as much criticism the same way that, like, Baker did? Like, I don't know if you guys saw that side by side, and, like, they're talking about Baker, they're talking about Sanders, and it's like, pretty sure everybody hated Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Oklahoma days all the way to fucking the NFL. His redemption tour really started after he left Cleveland and won with the Bucs, and now he kind of won people over. So if it's the same trajectory for Sanders where, like, maybe he doesn't do well and then gets another chance somewhere else, but, like, it's all TBD.
Yeah. We will be spending the next month, 3 weeks, talking about the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So.
And the NBA, because that's what we have left.
Yeah, and we do have some news in the NBA where Michael Malone finds himself out of a job. The GM as well is not going to be invited back. It seems 2 years removed and a 6.59, so 59% win percentage is not good enough for the.
I purposely did not look into this, but what was the reason he was fired?
The biggest thing that I saw was that there was a bunch of infighting between Michael Malone and the GM. His name escapes me at the moment, where they just like were talking, trying to motherfuck each other behind one another's back, and
his best players having his career year after winning MVPs. They're fourth in the West. They're one of the top 5 favorites to win the championship. Why does this feel familiar?
Okay.
Where you're doing well.
This feels like Dave Yeager, like when we just talked about this.
Or
2
you're
weeks
doing
ago.
well in your job, but somehow you get iced out.
Oh, that's right.
And then you get kicked out. It doesn't seem like it's about the numbers.
Yeah, it feels like
Who
it's
would do
something else.
Vladimir.
The owner of the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nuggets 47-32 this year with the last 4 straight games. Russell Westbrook is apparently a coach killer as well. He's on the team this year, but it feels it's pretty shocking. I mean, like, this is crazy. This is absolutely asinine.
Who do you want outside of him?
Yeah.
The guy's gotten you a championship. Has gotten you to the postseason.
Aren't they like in the playoff mix?
They're tied. They're in 4th position. They apparently just don't feel like they're going to win the championship.
They're top 5 as favorites to win the championship. I'm pretty sure it's the Celtics, the Thunder.
It was just a vibe check. Vibes were off.
It seems like the vibes were off, and that the coach and the GM were just both motherfucking each other from behind the scenes, and it's like, all right, you're both fired, which is wild. Again, I am always in favor of blowing stuff up. But not when it comes to this. Like, this one is crazy.
You blow stuff up in the offseason if you feel like it's not going well. This team's in the playoffs. They're favorites to win the championship. Jokic is playing really well. I don't understand. Like, he had to have given Reggie Bush money to buy a Jeep. And they know that they're about to get in trouble.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It sounds like a school ground situation.
Yeah.
Like the sanctions were coming and he's out.
Kroenke,
Well, it's like, oh, you guys can't get along? Well, you both have to go home then.
This is what Kroenke said. There were certain trends that were very worrisome to me at different points in time, but they would get masked by a few wins here and there. In the world of professional sports, when winning and losing is currency, winning can mask a lot of things. So he's saying, hey, guys, well, just because you're winning doesn't mean that things were all rosy and exciting. But I mean, like, doesn't winning cure all? I mean, isn't that kind of the
Isn't that
age
why
old?
we're all fucking here?
I mean, don't we sweep a lot of things under the rugs and apologize here and there when you win?
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. So
Over the history of professional sports, one or two things have been swept under the rug for the sake of winning.
The tough thing is if you're not a fan of anyone in the NBA and you're just kind of, hoping for good games or hoping for a certain team to win without having a dog in the fight, do you want Denver to win? Like, if you're Mike Malone, do you want Denver to win? Does that make you look worse? Or do you want him to, like, get kicked out of the first fucking round to almost be like, fuck you, you did this?
I mean, you gotta hope for them to lose.
yeah,
If
you're
I'm Mike
hoping that they
Malone,
lose.
you want that franchise to set on fire immediately.
For sure. We are just a week away, it looks like, from the end of the NBA's regular season.
There's like 3 or 4 games left in the regular season for each team.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty in the Western Conference right now. You have the Thunder and the Rockets, both that have clinched playoff spots. But in the East, it looks like that, like, everything, like, the play-in is established. The rankings are more or less there. Actually, they are there. So the East is already figured out.
And this is no surprise, but I have not really been like a huge fan of. I'm not like I don't have anything against him, but I'm not a huge fan of Devin Booker. But man, I feel fucking bad for that guy.
Yeah.
You have this team who your organization paid a shit ton of money for to get Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. They're probably not even going to make the play-in.
They're 2.5 games out of the play-in right now.
And he's been
The play-in.
he's made the finals, and then you got CP3 and Ayton. He's gotten close after that. And then now this team, who is stacked as fuck, will not make the play-in. And now he's having to drop 40 while being quadruple teamed. And it's like, can you imagine the position he's in where you have Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal on your team and you're having to carry the team just to be over 500 for the fucking season and not make the playoffs? It's like, what a shitty place to be in. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, agreed.
It's tough because, like, and I mean, for the Suns, I just absolutely love what's happening to them. I feel, to a degree, bad for Devin Booker, but I just love that this is what happens.
Yeah, I don't
to
care about
super
Phoenix.
teams.
I feel bad for Booker.
Yeah.
And also, the Thunder won't win the finals. So that's a bad bet on your part.
Giannis returned. He had a triple-double. Damian Lillard is out indefinitely. He has got himself a blood clot in that leg. So, yeah.
Poor boy.
He doesn't do well in the playoffs, so he's like, let me just
I'm
sit
not
out.
going to do that. So, very exciting for the NBA playoffs to be coming up. The Thunder continue on their historic run. They defeat the Lakers, and they are 65-14. Historically, one of the best teams in NBA
The
history.
Lakers are in third in the fucking West. How the fuck does this shit happen? These guys were basically...
West sucks.
Not necessarily. The West doesn't suck. If you
No,
still
I
look
mean-
at the East and West, the record still is better in the West. But like the Golden State went from trying to battle for the play-in to like number 5 or 6.
Yeah, they're number 5 right
So
now.
Steph and them just went on a fucking run. After that Dallas Lakers trade, the Lakers just fucking boomed to the top, and they're third in the West right now when they were battling for a play-in. LeBron's 75 years old. Somehow they're going to be in the fucking playoffs with a high seed. Who the fuck knows?
Right now, your finals odds with the final week of the regular season, you have the Thunder at plus 165, the Celtics at plus 215, the Cavaliers at plus 650, the Warriors at plus 1,200, the Lakers at plus 1,600, and the Nuggets, your 16 there at plus 1,800.
They were fifth.
Value play for the Cavs.
They
at
were
plus
fifth before
650.
Mike Malone got fired. They were 5th before
they?
Mike Malone
Yeah.
got fired. The Cavs will not win.
Such an odd move.
The Cavs will not win. That's not even a good value bet. The Thunder will not win. Those I can guarantee you those two teams.
So
will
you
not win
just
the
go
finals.
with the Lakers or the Celtics?
I think this. I don't think anyone can beat the Celtics.
Celtics at plus 215. So throw it in there. Back-to-back champions.
Can you see a Lakers Celtics finals?
That would be gnarly.
I mean,
in a
that's what
good
the
way.
NBA wants.
A Lakers Celtics finals.
That's what they would want.
It'd be fun.
What will be fun? Masters this weekend. And
Place your bets.
taking money again away from you. So
50 each, 150 winner take all.
150 to the winner.
Save that shit.
Top 4 cumulative, right?
Yep.
We can't scramble them, so the who we named as a tiebreaker
Exactly.
is the tiebreaker.
Is
Exactly.
the tiebreaker. Yeah. There is no scramble outside of that.
Did you mark that the way that you wrote it?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Indeed I did.
Clear eyes.
Full hearts.
Can't
Full
lose.
hearts. Yeah.
Love you guys.